Hey everyone, Bean Bagel. We're back with another video. We're gonna call this one Battle of the Fries. We are gonna do a tournament of various fry places and give you our opinion on which one we think is the best. So to start, we're gonna just kind of explain the judging and how we're gonna do it. It's pretty simple. Hope's gonna get a vote, I'm gonna get a vote, and then if we tie, Lincoln, our dog, will be the tiebreaker. So that's pretty much the way it's gonna go as far as judging. As far as the tournament itself, we have 21 places that we are gonna judge. And we're gonna have brackets. One's called Young Pups. Another bracket is called The Pack. And the other bracket is called Big Dogs. Basically, the big dogs are all of your big chains, you know, the ones that have been established and around or whatever, as far as maybe either a long time or they're just very successful over time, that kind of a thing. The pack is kind of like, you know, just the general ones that are in the conversation, places that people go. The young pups are going to be the newer ones based on the year that they were established. We did the best we could as far as bracketing them. It's probably not going to fit everyone's opinion, but that's how we did it. So the bracket itself, the young pups is going to be Five Guys, Freddy's, Smash Burger, Shake Shack, Checkers, and Raising Cane's. Five Guys and Raising Cane's are going to get a bye because of the way the numbers worked out with trying to make this whole bracket work. We gave them a bye because they're the eldest of the young pups. The pack is going to be Sonic, A&W, Long John Silver's, Portillo's, Popeyes, Culver's, and Hardee's. We gave Sonic a bye because it's a big, you know, successful chain, and we couldn't fit it in with the big dogs because of the numbers and how they all worked out. Any input so far?
It was kind of a complicated process, I'll say that. So we're trying to, you know, make it as fair as possible. So, like we said, probably not going to please everybody with how we did the brackets, but we're just doing the best we can based on the research that we did of like how long these places have been established and like how, you know, well their business is doing when compared to, you know, McDonald's or something like that. So.
And then the big dog bracket is going to consist of KFC, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Arby's, Burger King, Dairy Queen, McDonald's, and White Castle. So that's pretty much the rules of everything, the judging and how it's going to work. And we're going to go ahead and start doing the judging. All right, so we're at Freddy's. Gonna give them a shot.
Nice and crispy.
Yeah, very crispy.
I
think the saltiness is good. It's not overly salty.
To me, it's on the saltier side, but there is a bit of seasoning with it too. Maybe like some paprika or something like that I taste.
Grease is good. I'd say it is a little greasy. It does stick to your fingers. So and the box is kind of soggy in a way, not like soaked though.
Yeah, slightly greasy.
I think the flavor is really good. As far as, you know, it tastes like a potato. It doesn't taste artificial.
Yeah, agreed. The cook on it, I would say, is pretty excellent. It's cooked well, it's cooked through, it's hot, and nice and crispy, so.
I agree. It's cooked really well in my opinion too. Freshness is good. They were served hot. I want to keep eating them.
Definitely.
They're not as thick as I would prefer. These are what you would probably call shoestring fries.
To me, there's just something about like a crispy shoestring fry that's really good. So I'm enjoying these.
That's Freddy's.
All right, so we're at Checkers. We're gonna give these a shot. See how they stack up. Good crispiness.
Yeah, very crispy.
I think the salt level and seasoning is on point. Not overly greasy.
I like the seasoning a lot on these
Yeah.
fries, and the grease is not overwhelming. I don't feel like it's like a soggy
No.
container. I think it really tastes like potato. It's not artificial or anything like that.
No. I mean, they have a bit of an oily taste, I would say, but it's not like overwhelming like you said.
They're cooked well. It's not raw or anything. I haven't got any, cold feeling. Yeah, they're cooked really well.
Yeah. Tastes fresh.
Yeah, very fresh. They were served hot.
I feel like this is a good thickness level for this type of a fry. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about these.
I think they're good. They're kind of mid in between. I prefer like steak fries, but I like these. They're not like super thin, so that's good.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's Checkers.
We are at Shake Shack.
Shake Shack.
These are crinkle cut. Pretty good crispiness. Gregory!
Yeah, I think they're a good balance between crispy and,
Soft on the inside.
Yeah. I think they're lacking some salt.
A little bit.
Not greasy though.
No, pretty good. Potato taste is pretty real, I would say. Mostly. Still tastes like a fast food fry, but it's not like artificial or processed tasting. It just tastes fried, but
I do get a little oil taste.
a little bit.
In mine. But they're cooked thoroughly. Nothing's cold or frozen or anything like that.
Seem to be fresh.
Yeah.
Freshly cooked. Not old or anything.
Yeah, they were served hot.
It's a thicker style crinkle cut.
Yeah. So that's Shake Shack.
All right, we have now come to Smash Burger, and we are gonna try their French fries. These are just regular French fries, not the smash fries, FYI. Good crispiness.
Yeah, I think they're not soggy.
Not by any means.
Lacking seasoning in my opinion though.
Very much so. They are a tiny bit greasy, not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean,
But you can definitely feel it. Woo.
I like the authentic taste though. It definitely tastes like real potato.
Yep, and they're very well cooked.
Yeah.
They're not raw. They are nice and soft on the inside.
Yeah, it's not frozen or anything. I think they're fresh. They're served hot. And they're kind of like a smaller fry, not thick.
Kind of shoestring-esque, I would say.
Yeah.
Thinner. That's Smash Burger. We are now at Five Guys. Crispiness is kind of inconsistent on mine so far. There's some that are crispier than others.
It's kind of a good soft though to me. It's like soft and crispy. I think it's a little over seasoned. I mean.
Yeah, a little too much salt. grease is pretty heavy, I would say. I can feel it coating the cup.
Yeah. Definitely tastes real though.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely tastes potato.
For sure. It's cooked well, not raw. Very hot and fresh.
Yeah, it was served fresh. I mean, it's almost kind of, you know, hot, real hot.
Mm-hmm.
Good thickness. You know, you can see the skin on there too for the potato.
Yep.
So that's 5 guys. All right, we're at Raising Cane's. Gonna try the fries.
Pretty good.
Crispy, soft, good combination, I think.
Yeah, crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, which is good.
Mine's kind of lacking seasoning a little bit. It's hit or miss.
Hit or miss, I would say inconsistent.
It's not greasy though.
I was gonna say it's kind of greasy.
It's kind of greasy though. Tastes like a potato.
Yeah, tastes pretty real. It's nice and hot and cooked well.
Yeah, it's not cold. Kind of like a crinkle fry.
Yep.
Medium size. Not thin, not thick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's Cane's. In the first round, we have Freddy's versus Smash Burger. And my vote is gonna go to Freddy's.
I agree. Freddy's all the way.
Yeah, my reasoning would be I thought the seasoning was just a little bit better.
Very much agreed. Freddy's has that good seasoning on it. I like it.
All right, Freddy's is moving on. So the next matchup we have is Checkers versus Shake Shack. And who would you pick, Hope?
I picked Checkers for the seasoning and deliciousness overall.
Really? Because that's who I picked also. I think Checkers was just a little bit better.
Agreed.
All right, Checkers is moving on. We have 5 guys matching up against Freddy's. Who do you pick?
I'm picking Freddy's. I really like the seasoning, and I actually am partial to the thinner fries. So I'm picking Freddy's.
I'm gonna disagree on that one.
Uh-oh.
I think 5 Guys is way better. I think 5 Guys, like, just overall taste, and they're thicker, man. Those taste more like a fry to me. Like, not that thin ones don't taste like fries, but like, I don't know, just better.
I think for me, 5 Guys, they get soggy really easily, or sometimes if they're just not cooked well. I feel like Freddy's never lets me down with the crispiness, the texture, and just the seasoning, man. So I'm going with Freddy's. Sorry, Greg.
I'm going with 5 Guys. So we definitely disagree on this one. So we're gonna have to go to Lincoln. We're going to the Dobe. Lincoln, after all we've been through.
So next up, we have Checkers versus Raising Cane's. And who are you picking?
I'm gonna pick Checkers. I think it's just a personal preference. I do think the seasoning was a little better too, though.
I agree. Seasoning is better, and I just kind of like them better for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Checkers is moving on.
Yeah.
All right, so we are gonna settle the Young Pups Championship. It's gonna be between Freddy's, parentheses on a technicality due to Adobe, versus Checkers. Who do you pick?
Pick Checkers.
Yeah.
Even though I really love Freddy's, I think that Checkers, like that battered seasoned fries, really good. So I did go with Checkers on this one.
I'm glad we agree on this one, because yeah, I'm picking Checkers too. So Checkers is the Young Pups champion. Moving on.
Hey y'all, we're at Portillo's, so we're gonna give these fries a try. These are crinkle cut.
Nice and crispy.
Very salty though, but I like the crispiness.
I think the saltiness is really good. Like, it's not overly salty to me. I don't think it's greasy at all. It's exactly what you want. You know, you're not gonna get grease all over your fingers.
Yeah, does taste like real potato. Doesn't have that overly processed taste, which I like.
Yeah, I agree. Totally real when it comes to potato. It's not raw. They're cooked through really well.
Very fresh.
Not cold or anything like that. I think they have a good mix of, you know, thin and thick in a way. It's a good size. So, ooh, that one was real salty. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Portillo's.
All right, we have come to Long John Silver's to review their fries. They're pretty good.
They're crispy.
They're crispy. They're also, they're salted, but kind of more on the under-salted, I think.
Yeah, I think they're lacking some seasoning there. Not too greasy though. It's pretty good.
Not bad, yeah, pretty average.
I don't have any complaints about the grease.
It tastes nice and potatoey. Like there's a good, like soft potatoey inside.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
They're cooked through. They're not raw. They're not cold. They were served hot.
Yeah, not bad. They're slightly thicker than the average fast food fry, but they're still probably more of a medium width. Not like they're a steak fry or anything, but
yeah, thickness is fine with me. I have no complaints. So yeah, that's Long John Silver's. Now we're at Popeyes. They give you this boatload of fries. This is a small.
yeah, we were like shocked, but I guess this is the size you get when you don't get it with a meal. It's ginormous.
I'd say they're kind of soft.
That's crispy.
Lacking seasoning in my opinion.
No. They have seasoning on them. I think they could maybe use a tiny bit more salt, but there's like other, like the Cajun style seasoning on them, you know, and they're that battered style fry. So that's my opinion, but
They're kind of greasy.
yeah.
They actually smell like chicken, ironically enough.
Probably use the same oil, so
I think they taste a little artificial to me. Not super potato-y.
yeah. I think it's like the oil taste overwhelms the potato a little bit. So that's my take on it, but I think they are cooked pretty well. They're, you know, hot, seems.
Yeah, they're not cold. It's not like a frozen fry in my mouth or anything. I think they're cooked thoroughly through, and they were served hot, so that's good.
Yeah.
So
These are maybe just slightly thinner than some of the others that we've had. But they're still probably more in the medium range. They're not like a shoestring. And like I said, they have the batter on them. You can probably see that. So adds a little bit of something.
Yeah, that's Popeye. Hey everybody, we're at Sonic.
They're fairly crispy. They're not like the crispiest I've ever had, but they have a little bit of crispness, and
Yeah.
I feel like you can hear it as we're chewing.
Yeah, it's kind of more soft than crispy. I think the seasoning is lacking though.
It's slightly under seasoned, yeah. But grease, I would say, is medium. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
Yeah, I agree. The taste is really good. I think mostly you get potato. Occasionally I get like an oily taste.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was gonna say it has that oiliness a little bit, but it does taste like real potato. And it's cooked well.
Yep, it's not frozen. I think it was served hot.
Yeah, pretty hot. They taste fresh.
Yeah, they don't taste old. And they're mid-size. Not too thin, not too thick. That's Sonic. All right, we're at A&W. We're gonna try the fries. Kind of soggy, not real crispy, not terrible though, I would say.
Yeah, it's crispy parts, but it's just not completely consistent.
I think the saltiness is a little undersalted.
Slightly undersalted.
Not real greasy though, so that's good.
No, not bad at all.
I do like that it actually tastes like a potato. Like this one's really good when it comes to tasting like a potato.
I agree, and you can see there's skin on these fries too. So I feel like it is a pretty real fry. It hasn't been processed to death. But yeah, it's cooked pretty well, pretty fresh.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's raw. I think it was served hot.
Yeah.
You know, tasted good.
So these are probably slightly more on the shoestring side of width-wise. They're more thin. So, but yeah, not bad.
That's
A&W.
A&W. All right, we're at Culver's. I'm gonna try the fries. Kind of soft, kind of crispy.
Yeah. Could be a little bit more crispy for my personal preference. Seasoning is just slightly under seasoned, I think.
Yeah, not terrible, but could use a little more. They're not greasy, so that's good.
Yeah.
Tastes
very potatoey.
Jinx.
Jinx.
Tastes like a potato, so that's good, like she said.
Yeah. And they're pretty fresh, even though they're not like extremely hot. You can tell that they've been, you know, cooked freshly, so.
Yeah. They're kind of warm, not hot to me. That would be my opinion.
Agreed.
And they're crinkle fries.
To me, they have more of a soft inside. There's just more potato on the inside, I feel like. So I feel like these are a little bit thicker compared to some fast food fries that you get. So
yeah, they're a little bit more caring on the inside. That's Culver's.
Yep.
We're at Hardee's. We're gonna try the fries. Nice and crispy. I like the seasoning a lot. Seasoned really well.
Yeah, perfectly like salty without being overly salty.
Yeah, and they're not greasy at all either, so you don't get like a bunch of grease all over you.
Yeah, I would say it's average grease level. Tastes like potato, I think.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I haven't been to Hardee's for a while, so I couldn't really remember their fries, but they're pretty good.
They're cooked through really good.
They could be just a little bit hotter for my taste. They're warm, but they're not like super hot.
Yeah.
So
Kind of a thinner fry.
Mhm.
Not super thick, not super thin, but probably on the thinner side.
yeah,
But
pretty good.
that's Hardee's. All right, so next up, Sonic has been waiting in the wings. So it's Sonic versus Checkers. Who does Hope have?
Checkers.
I agree. I'm gonna pick Checkers too. I think it was just more crispy and again, seasoning.
Yep. Yeah, Checkers is doing well, but it's really good.
Yeah, man, it's moving along. Checkers is moving on.
All right, so next up we have A&W versus Long John Silver's.
Who won?
I think A&W won.
I have to agree with you. I think A&W was a little better, just overall taste.
Had much more of an authentic potato flavor to it, so
I agree.
that's the winner.
A&W is moving on. Next up, we have Portillo's versus Popeyes. And I'm gonna pick Portillo's because Popeyes was promising, but it tasted like chicken oil.
I agree. I think Portillo's just tasted more like French fries, and the Popeyes tasted like chicken. So I'm gonna pick one that tastes more like French fries.
Tasted like chicken oil.
Yeah.
Portillo's is moving on.
Next up, we have Hardee's versus Culver's. And my pick is actually for Hardee's, shockingly enough.
I agree again. I think their crispiness was better. Their seasoning was better. Just overall, I think they were a better fry.
They really were. I felt like the seasoning was like just about perfect with like the salt level and the crispiness, just everything.
Yeah. Hardee's is moving on. We have Checkers versus A&W. Who do you have?
Well, I think I'm going with Checkers yet again.
Really?
Yeah, I think just seasoning wise, crispiness, I gotta go with Checkers.
I agree with you. You know, this was kind of a tough one, but I think I'm gonna give it to Checkers too.
Yeah.
And for similar reasons. I think it was just a little bit better.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, A&W had that good potato authenticity, but just can't beat the really crispy battered fries of Checkers. So, Checkers, you're moving on to the final four.
Next up, we have Hardee's versus Portillo's. Who do you think?
I think Hardee's is getting this one. I think that just the seasoning is a lot better.
I agree. I think Hardee's is going to take this one too, and I agree with the whole seasoning thing. It was just a little better.
Yeah.
Hardee's, moving on! This current matchup is the Pack Championship between Hardee's and Checkers. Who do you have?
I'm picking Hardee's actually. Kind of a surprising choice, I feel like. I didn't expect Hardee's to do as well as it did, but it really came through with potato taste, good just overall flavor and taste, so I had to go with Hardee's.
I agree. Checkers' Cinderella run is now ended. I think Hardee's, again, I agree, it was a tough decision, but just overall taste, authenticity, man, I gotta go with Hardee's on this one too.
Yeah, surprising, but they deserve it, so.
Yeah, so Hardee's is in the final. right, we're here at Mickey D's, McDonald's. Kind of soft, not soggy, not super crispy.
Yeah. I think that saltiness level is good. It's slightly salty, but still a good fry kind of saltiness level.
I think there's a little over saltiness, but for the most part, good. There is a little bit of grease on my fingers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of greasy.
Potato taste, I would say so-so.
Yeah, potato taste is kind of artificial, but I can taste the potato.
Yeah, I've had some that aren't cooked like the greatest. Like you said, they're slightly soft.
Yeah, I don't think they're raw though. I think they're cooked through. They're fresh. They're served warm.
And then these are, you know, your standard McDonald's fries. They're slightly on the thinner side. All right.
That's McDonald's.
All right, now we're at Burger King. BK.
BK.
First impressions, it's not very crispy. It's slightly soggy.
Yeah, it's kind of mid. Crispy to soggy.
Crispy parts, there's soft parts.
I think the saltiness is okay. Some are overpowering, some aren't. So it's kind of inconsistent there.
Agreed. Grease level is good. They're not really greasy at all, actually.
I agree. Potato-y, like it kind of tastes like a potato. It kind of tastes artificial.
Yeah, tastes really processed. I think it's cooked through, but not very fresh.
Yeah, mine's not raw or anything. I think they're cooked well, but definitely served cold.
Yeah.
Personal, I don't know, like thickness wise, I think the thickness is good. I don't have any issues with that. They're not super thin. It's not like when I put it in my mouth, it just disappears.
Yeah, slightly more substantial, but yeah, a bit disappointing on the freshness level.
I agree. That's Burger King.
We've now made our way to Chick-fil-A, and we're gonna have these fries.
Crispy. Not soggy. A little soft, but not, you know, I wouldn't say overly soft.
Yeah.
I would say saltiness is okay. Some seem like they're lacking salt.
I was gonna say the same thing, slightly undersalted. Grease-wise, I would say just slightly greasy. Not bad at all, but slight.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me any. Like, not super greasy. I think the potato comes through. Tastes like real potato. Doesn't taste fake.
Yeah, totally agree.
They're cooked well, cooked through. So.
Pretty piping hot and fresh.
Yeah, definitely served fresh.
This is obviously a waffle cut fry, so there is some thickness to it in certain parts, but it's, you know, you got those like crispy edges just due to the shaping of the waffle fry, so it has good potential for crispiness, I feel like, and it's fairly crispy.
Yeah. There's Chick-fil-A, closed on Sundays.
We have now come to DQ to review fries.
Kind of soggy.
Yeah, not very crispy at all. Last one.
I think the saltiness is good though. Good seasoning.
Good saltiness, good flavor. Greasy, I would say it's an average fry. It's not too bad of grease.
A little bit, not a lot. Kind of tastes artificial a little bit to me though. Kind of an oily taste.
Yeah, I agree. They're cooked all the way through, but again, not crispy. So you're like dropping fries everywhere.
I know. Yeah, they were served hot and they were cooked through. Yeah, they need to work on their crispiness, I think. That's the only thing. So they could have been cooked maybe just a little bit more. Yeah.
But they're still, you know, warm and whatever.
I think the thickness is good. You know, not too thin, not too thick.
Pretty average.
Everybody has their preferences with that. So yeah, that's Dairy Queen. Okay, we're gonna do Wendy's.
They're like kind of the hand cut style with the skin on.
Yeah, very crispy.
Yeah, pretty good crispiness.
But not overly crispy, so good balance there. I think it's lacking salt, seasoning.
Which is actually interesting because I feel like Wendy's is usually really salty because I think they use sea salt on their fries, which is like usually more intense than regular salt.
I concur with that. Every time I go to Wendy's, that's what kills them in my opinion, is the over saltiness. I don't think they're super greasy.
No, pretty average.
Right. Yeah. Tastes just like potato. I like that a lot.
Potato taste, for sure.
They taste real.
Cooked well. You know, like we've already said, they've got some crispiness. They're not cold or raw on the inside or anything.
Yeah, they were served, I would say medium. It wasn't hot.
Yeah.
Not cold
kind of
either.
warm. Overall, I'm not mad at them. Pretty good. Medium typical fry cut.
Yeah, thickness is fine. No issues there. That's Wendy's.
All right, y'all, we've made our way to Arby's, and I'm a little concerned about the greasiness level on this box, so we'll see what happens. Good crispiness.
Yeah, nice and crispy.
Seasoning level is good. These are obviously the curly fries, so they have more of a seasoning on them. They're a tiny bit greasy. Not as bad as I thought they would be, but they are kind of greasy.
Yeah, more than some others, definitely. I think they taste kind of oily. I wouldn't say they don't taste like potato, but kind of artificial.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, I think it's hard to tell because have the seasoning and they're a little bit on the greasy side, so it's harder to distinguish just potato. Yeah. But I don't know, average maybe as far as realness goes.
Yeah, I would say they're lacking a little seasoning in my opinion. They were served fresh, they're hot, they're kind of small, you know, not super thick fries, so depends on your preference.
Yeah. I think with curly fries, I always really like to dip them in ketchup, so I feel like they're just missing something. I like to dip all my fries in ketchup, but I've been abstaining for the sake of science. But these ones, I feel like I really miss the ketchup for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, they are, ooh, there's a good long one. I don't know, they're good, like, for me, they're a good thickness. I like that they stay crispy.
That's Arby's. All right, we're at KFC. We're gonna try them out. Nice and crispy.
Very crispy. It's good. Seasoning is okay. I think maybe slightly under.
I think mine was good.
Was it?
Not greasy.
Very minimal. Potato taste is, I think it's there. I think it's harder to tell because it has more of a batter on it. But Yeah, I wouldn't say it tastes like it's processed too much. Just more tastes like a battered fry.
Tastes real to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it tastes like potato. It's not raw. It's cooked good, cooked through.
Yeah, they're extremely fresh, nice and hot.
Yeah. Good balance of thickness too, I think. So you get potato. It's not like it disappears in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's KFC.
All right, we have made our way over to White Castle, so we're gonna give these a shot. Very crispy,
Yeah.
but not very salty. At least the one that I had.
Kind of hit or miss. Like I had one that was and one that wasn't. It's not greasy, so that's good.
Yeah, greasiness is fairly minimal.
Tastes like potato.
Yeah, I would say overall, I don't feel like it's as potato-y as some, but I think it just, because they're kind of bland, like I'm not getting a lot of flavor from them, so.
They're cooked well, it's not cold. Was served hot, tastes fresh, not old.
Yeah. The cook is definitely a plus. These are crinkle cut. Kind of a medium thickness. More slightly thick like crinkle cut typically is, but yeah, that's White Castle.
Next up, we have KFC versus Chick-fil-A, a battle of chicken titans. I'm gonna go with KFC on this one. I think just the batter was really good and the seasoning was really good. Just thought it was better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get some hate. It's probably a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but we're talking about the fries, not the chicken sandwich. So I do agree. I think that KFC is better. You just can't beat that battered fry, so.
Yeah. And if there is any haters, go try KFC's fries if you haven't. KFC's moving on.
Next we have Wendy's versus Arby's. And for me, I think Wendy's actually wins this one, even though I love curly fries, but Wendy's just tasted a lot more like potato and it was a lot less greasy.
Yeah, for sure. I think Arby's was too greasy, so Wendy's is definitely moving on this one. Next up, we have a battle of royalty, Dairy Queen versus Burger King. Who do you pick?
So I'm gonna pick Dairy Queen on this one, actually, because the freshness level was way better and they just had a less processed taste.
I'm gonna agree with that. I think Dairy Queen was better for similar reasons. So Dairy Queen's gonna move on.
All right, next up we got McDonald's versus White Castle. And this one goes to McDonald's. Mostly just for personal preference. I think they did season them a little bit better. White Castle's was a little on the bland side.
Yeah, I think there's no comparison. I think McDonald's definitely beats White Castle. Seasoning was better, and again, I agree with your personal preference. That's, yep, White Castle not moving on this one. McDonald's is moving on.
Next up is KFC versus Wendy's. Who are you picking, Greggy?
I'm picking KFC. I think the overall taste, just better than Wendy's. And probably the seasoning too.
Yep, and I'm with you on that. I agree.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
All right, KFC, you're moving on.
Now we have McDonald's versus Dairy Queen. And I'm going with McDonald's. But I'm curious to hear what you're picking.
I actually am going to go with McDonald's too. I think it comes down to more of a personal preference thing, but I do think the seasoning was a little bit better. So
Yeah, it was seasoned a little better, I think, too. And I would pick McDonald's over Dairy Queen, personal preference-wise, too. I agree.
Yep.
Mickey D's,
Mickey
moving
D's.
on.
Now come to the championship of the big dog bracket, featuring McDonald's versus KFC. And I'm going to go with Mickey D's for this one, just because I think they're more crave-worthy than KFC. It's just kind of a personal preference thing, but I just don't really think about KFC's fries. I think about McDonald's fries if I'm craving fries, so that's what I'm going with.
I'm going to disagree on this one.
What?
I'm giving it to KFC. I think it's more authentic than McDonald's, and I think the overall taste is better. I got to vote for KFC on this one. It's not an easy decision, but I think it's easy enough for me because I think KFC just tastes better.
Well, I guess we're going to go to the dope, you guys.
We got to go to Lincoln.
All right.
Going to the Dobe. To the Dobe. Saturday at the Dobe. Lincoln, you're such a mama's boy. We have now reached the finals, and we have Hardee's versus McDonald's. Who do you have?
Man, it's tough, but I think it's McDonald's. Even though Hardee's just has a great potato, like, taste flavor, it doesn't taste processed. I just don't feel like it's as crave-worthy as McDonald's, so gotta go with McDonald's.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with McDonald's on this one too. It was tough, but I just can't see myself picking Hardee's over McDonald's fries. All right, so we're bringing this tournament to a close. Congratulations, McDonald's, on your championship. Too bad this ain't the Super Bowl because you don't get a free car. You just get a nice big old pat on the back from a couple midwesterners.
Yep.
Yeah, this tournament was a lot of fun to do. We visited, was it 21 places?
I think so. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of fries and a lot of grease for our bodies. So hopefully it was worth it, that you guys, enjoyed watching the video, because we did have a lot of fun with it. It was fun to give them all a shot. I think there was definitely some surprises and things we weren't expecting to be as good. So I was impressed overall with a lot of them, more than I thought I would be. So
yeah. As you know, the bracket would have went a little differently had I got my way, but that's life. Hey, Lincoln's got an opinion too, and he knows how to eat, and he likes to eat. He's got a great nose. He's done a lot of great things in his life with that nose, when it comes to missing people and all that kind of stuff. So if he smelled something in those fries, then I'm a little disappointed in him, but I trust him.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
See you guys. Congrats, McDonald's.